Hi, my name is Corey. What's up? This is a social film. We were up to this long Easter weekend. You know what? I saw a cat throw up today and work. I worked the last day, so I'm able to do this. Let's have some fun. Let's experiment. Act 1, let's go. Stalin.
I can do a Stalin.
Okay, so the Russian Empire, they weren't giving the civilians what they wanted, which led to civil unrest, which eventually led to Stalin coming to power, and this is how.
Revolution began 1917. The Soviet Russia began the downfall. With their car drive you no longer. The Bolsheviks entered the government and they gained control, and they began and won the Civil War.
Stalin starts in power. Well, no, Lenin, he's there with Stalin, and Stalin's like, you know, his right-hand man other than Trotsky. Trotsky's pretty powerful. Lenin dies, and Stalin's like, I already swore. Okay. I'm the best. Trotsky's the worst. I'm gonna fix Russia. I'm gonna fix the Soviet Union. We're gonna become way more industrialized than the States ever could have been, right? So he tells Trotsky, get out of here. You disagree, you're way more socialist in the way that you think, and I'm just seriously done with you. I'm gonna kill you if you don't get out of here. So I'm banishing you because Lenin's dead and I got the vote of the people, right? So GTFO or STFU. So, Trotsky leaves because, you know, he knows his place. He goes to Mexico and he's hanging out with girls and he's having a great time. Stalin starts up the 5-year plan. He's like, we're gonna get this stuff done. We're gonna become more powerful than the United States. We are so far behind in industrialization. I'm gonna take the money from all these crops and I'm gonna bring the crops over to the army and feed them. You guys can starve to death, like the civilians, you could starve. And I'm gonna take all this money to go to industrialize. So, you know, Russia, they started picking up. They started getting ahead in power. Stalin, though, he knew that there were people against what he was talking about. So he started picking them off one by one. And this is the Great Purge, right?
Knock, knock. Who's there? The Great Purge. The Great Purge who? Teachers, scholars, professors, education. Thrown away, killed, murdered by the man with the mustache. Yeah, some might say that Stalin was 2 steps forward, 4 steps back. Others might say that he was I think we all can agree when we say that he moved Russia forward and moved the Russian people backward.
He began to take over all groups, scaring them and intimidating them to believe in what was right, to believe in Stalin's rules and authorities, and which really led to Stalin taking power, economic power and strength power, to become the powerful Hercules over all the classes.
He killed millions. Ukraine? Don't get me started on the Ukraine. You go to Ukraine, you say Stalin, they say no! And that's just the way it is. Because Ukraine was like, Stalin, we don't want your shit. We got people, we got grain, we got farmers, we're set. And Stalin said, okay, that's fine. You'll see how you can do without your grain. And then they died. Same thing happened with the scholars. Stalin said, hey, Let's see how you educated people are without your brains or your lives. Bam! Sliced in half like a machete. Salami is what I meant.
So he's killing off people one by one. He's picking off the people in the Red Army. He's picking off the people in the Communist Party because these people may not fully oppose him, but they disagree at least a little bit. Because he's not feeding his civilians.
You have a cat?
Yeah, I have a cat. His name's Harvey. He's the sweetest kitty in the world. Trotsky. He's found with a pickaxe in his head. I said the F word, but that's how serious this is. Right? Anyway, the Cold War starts. The Cold War. Right. Here we are at the Cold War. Okay. So, we've gone through the 5-year plans with Stalin, and he's got the Soviet Union so industrialized that they're the leading superpowers because, okay, they signed, the World War II starts out, and he's afraid of Hitler. Stalin is afraid of Hitler, so he calls him up and he's like, Hitler, yo, man, you're freaking me out. I don't want you to hurt Russia. I don't want you to hurt what we're building here. So I would really like it if we could just sign a non-aggression pact. So they signed a non-aggression pact. But Hitler, he's a liar. So of course he doesn't stick to the pact.
He was in his 40s. He had that mustache, and then Hitler was like, Hitler, I'm Hitler. We're not gonna attack you. And Stalin was like, sweet. And then Hitler was like, I'm gonna attack you. And then Stalin was like, Iron Fist, in your face, bam, knock you out, teeth out, straight out. Hitler, you got your stars, I got a better one.
They're trying to fight, it goes on. It's like one of the bloodiest battles in, like, history. Finally, Russia wins, leading them to be one of the 2 highest superpowers in the world versus the United States, starting the Cold War. This was the war where they fought not necessarily against each other, but like they sent people in. An example of a proxy war here is like where, I'm not sure. The president of the United States, he'll call somebody up and he'll say, you know what, I really don't like Russia right now. They're being a big jerk and they slept with my boyfriend. So, you gotta call in our allies and they gotta go up against Russia and we gotta kick their asses. Not necessarily directly, not even with atomic bombs.
Tomahawk.
But they're gonna go down. And Russia's like, we gotta find somebody to cover up this war. We gotta find somebody to fight this back, but without we don't have the army. We're still industrializing. We're trying to beat the States. We gotta work on this while you guys work on that. So let's just have like this unrest. Let's have some propaganda. Let's do this. It'll be super fun. War. It was long and it was hard.
That's what she said.
And then Stalin died. And the last things he said before he died was, I had some short arms. And I made those artists. I made them fake long arms. And my mustache, it wasn't always even. We invented airbrushing. Paintbrushes, they ain't got nothing on airbrushes now, but then Stalin was awesome. And now Stalin is a killer.
No.
He killed Trotsky. And that is that story.
Rumored. It's a rumor. So, why was Russia so slow to recover after World War II? Answer. They kept Stalin around.
That was horrible.